I mentioned earlier that we're finding some things. If you do some studies, if you do some Google searches, you'll find that hard surfaces, we're finding that many times, even after a hard surface has been cleaned with traditional methods, they're finding high levels of biocontaminants, of fecal matter. One study that I saw in a big box home retailer store, we won't name any names, found fecal matter at high contamination levels over 200 feet away from the bathrooms. So here to share more with you about that is Mike Lombardozzi. Mike is the National Sales Manager for HydraMaster. Can you bring Mike up, Janelle? There you are. Hey, Mike, how you doing? I think you're muted, Mike.
Am I unmuted now?
Yeah, there you go. So obviously, one of the things that you've spent your career cleaning hard surface floors, and I think you were as surprised as I was when we started to see some of these studies coming in. People ask, well, why are they discovering this now? Well, obviously, COVID-19 has led to a higher level of measurement and study and looking at some of these surfaces. So Mike, why don't you share with our audience some of the things that we found about hard surface floors and why deep cleaning is so important. Take it away, Mike.
Sure, Doyle, no problem at all. Yes, I obviously have spent the better part of my career working on the Jansan side of things, selling a tremendous amount of auto scrubbers and things like that. So a lot of hard floor cleaning, and it is interesting some of the studies, Doyle, that you've put together on just how actual dirty the floors are, even though they might look clean. Well, that you might have run a scrubber or a mop or something over them. So it just tells us that we really value deep cleaning, and probably not enough deep cleaning is getting done on hard floor. It's mostly maintenance. It's a lot of mopping still. You'd be surprised how many people are still mopping. I mean, auto scrubbers are good, obviously better than mop and bucket. Mop and bucket moves a tremendous amount of dirt around. It doesn't really pick up a lot of stuff. Auto scrubber is better. Obviously you have a squeegee and you're actually removing the dirty water and the dirt from the floor. But an auto scrubber doesn't really have a lot of pressure like we know in the restoration or the carpet cleaning business. I mean, there isn't a lot of water pressure with an auto scrubber. There's agitation, obviously, but there also isn't a lot of down pressure with an auto scrubber, and there's virtually no heat. I mean, you could put hot water in an auto scrubber, but it's only going to stay hot for a very short period of time. So, the same types of things we talk about when we talk about cleaning carpet, and we talk about the different aspects that go into cleaning carpet, really a lot of that applies to hard floor too, right? I mean, you certainly need to have chemistry, some sort of chemistry when you're doing hard floor, just like you pre-treat your carpet. You certainly need to have some sort of agitation, some sort of pressure to remove that dirt and grime, and need to have good vacuum to be able to actually get everything up off the floor. So it isn't that much different when we talk hard floor than when we talk carpet. It's just some different types of chemistry and some different tools and accessories that will run off either your truck mount or your portable. And we can do that just like Sean just showed you, all those various tools for carpet. We certainly have those options when it comes to hard floor cleaning as well. And there's certainly a lot of different hard floor surfaces out there, and they keep coming out with new ones. And if you look here, I mean, we all know, tile and stone's been around forever. But some of this LVT and some of these other floors that are coming in now are can be a little bit more of a challenge. But I do think, again, with the right chemistry, the right tools, the right process, that there really isn't many of these floors that we can't learn how to clean and do a good job with today. So, yeah, Doyle, I don't know where exactly. I just kind of went off on a tangent there. I'm not sure where we are in this presentation. most of this I've talked about, and I know I'm a little short on time because Sean ran long, which is great because his energy and the stuff that he was doing is just fantastic. So I think you could probably go over to some of the chemistry at the end, Doyle, and I'll talk a little bit about that. But most of this stuff I went over. I love that slide. That's always a good one, Doyle. That's the fecal matter. It's pretty amazing that we can find fecal matter that far away from the restrooms in a public place.
Mike, I think you and I were both surprised to find the level of touch points. There was so much emphasis on touch points with hard surface with COVID, and people didn't traditionally think of a hard surface floor as a touch point.
No, they really didn't. And I think, yes, we both were surprised by that. I mean, when you think touch points, especially in retail, I mean, what do you think about? You think about door handles, right? I mean, you think about, displays where somebody's picking something up and then somebody picks it up, behind them. You think about countertops, when at the checkout lines or things of that nature, but you never really think about the floor. You just assume that you've got shoes on and the floor is going to be cleaned, right? So it is pretty amazing how COVID has really tuned us in to different areas in all places, whether it be retail or commercial buildings or anywhere else, even your house, on just how how much these hard surfaces, although they may look clean, can seriously hold on to contaminants and fecal matter and other different things. So as we mentioned, deep cleaning these, obviously maintenance is important with some sort of a scrubbing process, whether it be an auto scrubber, but periodic deep cleaning is certainly something that, I don't think is getting done enough. I don't think that there are enough places that are doing these deep cleanings on hard floors. They do them a lot on carpet, but not as much on hard floor. And it seems to me from the stories that Doyle and I have read that we really need to incorporate that into our cleaning process. So this is this grunge slayer is a new product for us. Doyle, when did this come out? This is just out about a couple of months now, right?
Actually, a couple of weeks. It's only been out
okay.
A weeks.
So just out a couple of weeks. We've sent a few samples of this around. This is a new powdered product for hard surface and grout. And we've sent a few samples of this around, Doyle, and some of the pictures that have come back and some of the comments that have come back have really been pretty amazing. I mean, if you look at this, this looks like it was in somebody's house with a water heater there in the basement. And I mean, that floor just went from dirty, grimy, looked like it hadn't been cleaned in years to almost brand new. And again, here's another one that came back from just some tile that was cleaned with this grunge slayer. It really seems to be impressing people quite a bit. So new hard floor product for HydraMaster, great on any sort of hard surface, tile and grout. I would certainly suggest that you ask us for some samples or pick up a case of this. It seems to be really working very, very well. All the manuals, the MSDS sheets, all the cut sheets are all on our website. Go and take a look at that. I really think that you'll be impressed with this product. So. In any case, Doyle, I'm short on time. It's about 3 o'clock now. I don't know if you want me to talk about anything else, or if there's any questions or any questions you would like to answer about hard floor or anything in my past life that I did. Otherwise, I'm gonna run unless you need me for anything.
Hang on just a second, Mike. Can you share with our audience for a minute a little bit about how an for those who've never operated an auto scrubber, how they operate and what kind of pressure do they put down? What's basically, from your experience, the difference between using an auto scrubber and using a truck mount with a rotary hard surface tool at 800 PSI?
Yeah, it's a big difference, Doyle. So an auto scrubber really is designed, as I mentioned before, as a maintainer, whereas the truck mount with the rotary tool is designed as a restorative piece. So there are some very big differences. An auto scrubber is putting down water at probably somewhere around 150 to maybe tops 300 PSI, and most of them don't get up that high. The PSI is very, very low. And it's not really spraying directly onto the floor, right? It's really more spraying onto the pad or the brush that you're using to clean. Your down pressure, which we talk about a lot with auto scrubbers, meaning how much pressure is on the floor, again, is anywhere from maybe 100 to 300 pounds of down pressure. So you don't have a lot of pressure there either. You have almost no heat, right? There's no auto scrubbers out there that heat water. So it's really a very, very different process. It is a maintenance of really getting dirt, surface dirt, off the floor and removing that slurry, that dirty water with a squeegee and putting it up into a tank. But it really is not any sort of restorative process whatsoever. Very, very different.
Well, and I think that's what we really want to share with our audience today, is the simple fact that this is a demo sale, because most people who have a hard surface, polished concrete or tile, and then are auto scrubbing it sometimes as often as every day, every night, that they're having the opportunity to do that. What they're finding, they think it's clean. But if you come in with your truck mount and a rotary or a stationary hard surface wand and do a demo with a product like Grunge Slayer or with some other things, we had a question from the audience on, is it okay to pre-spray at the same temperature you extract at? And on hard surfaces and carpet cleaning, yeah, generally the answer would be yes. Yes. The only time you want to turn temperature down on carpeting would be wool. You wouldn't want to spray 100 and 210 degrees temperatures on wool. But keep in mind, and this is kind of digressing us from the discussion of hard surface, but it's true on hard surfaces too. There's a massive temperature loss between the time that the water leaves the jet of your tool, whatever tool that is, and when it strikes the carpet. And so the idea that you can hit any surface with 200-degree water, that's just not demonstrated out in the scientific studies. As a matter of fact, I was involved in a study back in the 90s when DuPont brought out StainMaster. They came out and they inserted temperature sensors into carpet fibers and then let us clean the carpet with a truck mount. And the highest temperatures we were ever getting on the fiber themselves were around 160 degrees, which is well above that 130-degree threshold we need to start to achieve some decontamination, but not 210 degrees. So yeah, on hard surfaces, as a general rule, the hotter the better. So I think that what we're going to do now is it's time. Mike, thank you for that information. We really appreciate you jumping in and joining us with your level of expertise on hard surface floors. Obviously, Dane's going to touch on this a little bit more in a little while, specifically getting more into the high-end hard surface floors, the stone and some of the tile and grout issues that you're going to encounter in residential and commercial jobs. But we wanted people to be aware that there's a growing understanding that hard surface floors need more deep cleaning processes. We know that about carpet because the carpet's ugly out if you don't do that. But the same thing we're finding about hard surfaces. So thanks, Mike, for joining us.
No problem. I'll leave you with one little thing, Doyle. A quick little trick. If you really want to get a hard surface job, especially a grout job in a bathroom somewhere, we used to do this on demos all the time. Get a little bit of Grunge Slayer or whatever your favorite chemical is that you want to use, and put it in a little cup with a grout brush, and just pour it on one little grout line in the bathroom, and hit that with a grout brush on a bathroom that somebody thinks is clean. And usually black stuff will bubble up out of that grout line, and you'll get the job every time. Quick little trick, takes about 2 minutes, and you'll get the job.
Great stuff, Mike. We appreciate it.